Hello and welcome back to the Entertainment Vortex and our new episode of Pop Culture News. This, of course, is our series where we tell you all the news in the world of Funko Pops from the last week or so. So first up on the list this week is going to be our confirmations of what's available now. These are actually a couple things we just mentioned in our last couple episodes. Some of them were rumors, but now we know they're confirmed. So we've got the Powerline Pop, which of course is from the Goofy movie, which is awesome. I'm totally going to pick that one up. We've got the It movie moment scene, which of course is the young boy, what is his name?
Georgie.
Georgie, of course. Not really a horror movie fan, but Georgie looking down in the sewer, arm missing, all that stuff. And then we've got Deadpool and Cable from, I don't know if it's from the new movie or if it's supposed to be homaging the new movie, because it's definitely Cable from the comic books, not from the movie, but it's super cool.
It does almost kind of look like they show it in the trailer for the new movie, so it's not a spoiler, but the scene where he's shooting at him point blank and he's cutting it up with
cutting it up.
Yeah, it almost looks kind of like that, but it is definitely in the more comic book.
Yeah, Cable's wearing his like 80s comic book outfit,
which is dope.
Either way, it's super cool. So we already gave our opinions of which one we're going to get. Plus, if you've watched this series, you probably know which ones we're going to get on these. But super cool. So let's jump into the news. What's been announced in the last week or so, coming up pretty soon.
So we have another Freddy Funko astrological sign release coming out. It's going to be for Gemini. Once again, this is something that's probably going to miss the both of us. Freddy Funko things are super cool, and they can be worth a lot of money if you can get your hands on them and you sit on them for long enough.
My grail.
Yeah. we all know that Nick wants that Kylo Ren. But this one's something that's not really my thing. I don't necessarily believe in astrological signs and their actual impact on people. But I am a Pisces. It does exist. Yeah. But I'm not super interested in picking this up. I know that there are people who are definitely out there who are going to snatch it while you can.
Yeah, I'm a Cancer myself, but not really my thing. But we want to let you guys know because someone watching might be your thing. So next up on the list is a kit. This is pretty slick. It's coming to Target. This is a Black Panther pop as well as a Black Panther t-shirt. Super cool. I love the pop. I'd like to think they'd make the t-shirt in my size, but they might not. But super cool. I highly suggest checking this out if you are a fan of Black Panther like we were. You gonna try to pick this one up?
Definitely. I loved Black Panther. I have a lot of the pops from that series, and I know that with Wave 2 coming out, I'm also going to pick those ones up as soon as I can get my hands on them. The shirt is super cool. I love how they use kind of the suit's ability in this, where it has where it glows. Super cool. I really want to pick it up. Right now, it's currently only available online for Target, so it's a little harder to come by, but it is supposed to be coming out to stores soon. So hopefully we'll run across it and one of us can snatch a couple so we both have it.
Absolutely.
So next up on the list is going to be another one of the speeder bike pops that are coming out for Star Wars. This one is the Ewok. I don't have as big a problem with Ewoks as some Star Wars fans do. I think that they're funny, and I really want to get this pop. I already have Leia. I have a place that we go to in town that has Luke that I've had my eye on for 2 or 3 months now. I'm just waiting to pull the trigger, essentially. So it is out now, but when it comes out to the wild and we actually run across it, I'm going to try to snatch it up.
Probably going to pass on this one. I do like the concept of it. I don't really have a problem with the Ewoks in the movie. I thought they were cool, but not really my style. Plus, I don't know if you follow some of these episodes, but there is a lot coming out, so it is hard to keep up financially. Even things that I might be interested in, I'm kind of just picking the top stuff right now, because there is just a ton. And as you're going to see in our haul section a little later, I got a lot recently, so gotta watch that cash. So next up on the list is going to be some pops from the WWE wrestling line. These are coming this summer. If you're someone that's been collecting these will definitely need to be on your radar. Coming up pretty soon. We're just around the corner from summer now, so this could literally be any time now. None of these wrestlers, as you can see on screen, none of these wrestlers are really ones that I'm into. I picked up some of the wrestling pops in the past, but I'm probably going to pass on these specific ones. I haven't watched it a little while, and there's only a couple of the new wrestlers I'd be interested in picking up. I like Suka, for example.
As per usual, wrestling ones are just going to go right over my head. Not something I'm super into. I've heard that there are a lot of redeeming qualities for wrestling, but it's something where I feel like there's a little barrier to entry. Just not something that I've invested my time in. And it's hard once you've already let something pass you by for so long to jump in with both feet. Yeah. So these pops are probably not going to be for me, but glad they're making them.
Absolutely. If they were to make another wrestling pop, I would love to see Stardust. Not Stardust, but Stardust, if you know who that is.
Next up on the list is going to be something that's slated for an August release, but sometimes they can be a little bit fudgy with a few of the numbers here. But this is going to be a new wave of Harry Potter Pops. These ones are all based around Chamber of Secrets. You have Harry, Ron, and Hermione with the Mandrakes. You also have a Basilisk figure, a 10-inch Dobby. They have Gilderoy Lockhart. They have 2 variants of that, just with a different outfit. And they have 2 variants of Tom Riddle. These all look fantastic. I really want the Tom Riddles. There are some places that are going to be selling the Ron, Hermione, and Harry as a 3-pack. I want to get the 3-pack rather than get the separate ones. It's a little bit easier to store and easier to place on the shelf, but they all look super cool. I'm excited to see if they continue to go down this line of selecting like specific moments from the movies to base their Pops around. Because it's an interesting concept, especially for a series that's so widespread as this one.
Probably not going to pick these up. None of these characters really hit me hard. I do have a handful of Harry Potter ones, but I'm very selective on the characters I pick up. I could definitely see why they'd be popular. These are super cool looking. So next up on the list is going to be an anniversary pop. It's a very special occasion. Apparently the first pop that was ever made was of the Big Boy, the actual character they used for the hamburger brand. They're going back and doing it again in a different pose for the 20th anniversary of Funko basically overall. So this is pretty slick. This is going to be available in September. So if this is something you're interested, if you've been collecting since the beginning or just like that nostalgia, this is definitely something to pick up. Probably not for me. I haven't been around that long. Plus, we don't have Big Boys in the area. What about you?
So it's a super interesting concept, and I love how they're going back to their roots, and they're trying to find new things that they can do, even with things that they've already tackled and accomplished. It's a super interesting pop. It's still probably not for me, just because I don't know if I want to start collecting things from restaurants, but it is definitely interesting, and I'm sure the really avid, been there since day one Funko collectors are probably going to be all over this, and my guess is it's probably going to have some value to it as well.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so next up on our list is going to be a Toy Story Pop. It is a metallic version of the Plastic Army Man. Now, this one is supposed to be coinciding with the opening of Toy Story Land in Walt Disney World. So it's going to be a little bit of an interesting release. It is a box lunch exclusive. So basically they're going on a tour showing off different things about this Toy Story Land that's going to be in Walt Disney World. So once the park is actually open, they're going to release it on box lunch. That's what they're supposed to be doing, like for the website and for actual brick and mortar stores, but people are going to get early access to it if they go to these events that are basically happening all over the country. It's super interesting. I love Toy Story. It's a great franchise. I love basically anything Pixar does is gold. As far as this pop is concerned, probably not something that I'm gonna ever really come across, so I don't think I'm necessarily gonna be out there looking for it. If I happen to stumble across it, I'll probably pick it up because it is kind of an interesting piece of history, and it does have an extra little logo on it as well for that Toy Story world, but just probably something that's going to end up missing. How about you?
Yeah, same thing. If I come across it, I'll pick it up. I love Toy Story, and the fact that it's for that special land in Walt Disney World makes it neat, like a collector's piece, but nothing I'm going to seek out specifically. Next up on the list is going to be an FYE exclusive coming soon. It's going to be another one of the Pickle Ricks from Rick and Morty, but this one is completely translucent. As you can see on the screen, this looks awesome. So the long and short of it is I have to find this. I'm going to have to find a way to have this. I have the Pickle Ricks from before, as you've seen, as I've shown them in hauls in the past, and this one is not an exception. I have to get this in my collection. How about yourself?
I love Rick and Morty. If I come across this, I definitely will pick it up. We do have an FYE that is local to us. My guess is it's probably going to be hard to come by. Rick and Morty is a huge franchise at this moment in time, especially considering they just announced the intention of doing 70 more episodes. There are going to be a lot more cool things, so you should expect to see more Rick and Morty pops down the line. We're actually going to talk about some later in the rumor section. It's a really cool pop. Like I said, if I find it, I'm going to snatch it because it looks super cool. They already did a version of this exact pose, but this one is just all green, completely translucent, super awesome.
So now we're going to move into our rumor section. This is things that haven't necessarily been confirmed 100%, but we are seeing a lot of information about it, so we wanted to share it with you. And of course, as weeks go on, the more information we get, the more we'll let you know when they are confirmed, if they are confirmed. First on the list is going to be an Alpha 5 from the Power Rangers. This is a kind of a different color scheme for it, and it is a bait exclusive. We should hear more about it coming up at San Diego Comic-Con, but this is a pretty cool figure. I haven't collected any of the Power Rangers stuff up till now, although I am a fan of the series, so I'm probably not going to pick this one up, but I could definitely see how this would be popular. How about yourself?
It's tough with some of the con exclusives because They get a weird rollout once they actually go to the public, if they go to the public. If you were one of the people who was trying to get a hold of that Mary Poppins Yondu, you know how it works. You know, they get announced. Sometimes they make it out into the public. Sometimes they get scalped, which is terrible, especially for collectors like us who don't want to have to, you know, give an arm and a leg to get anything we want. If I come across this, I might pick it up just because it is super cool. The color scheme is different and interesting. I haven't followed Power Rangers really since that first series, but Alpha 5 was a cool character, definitely good for some comedic relief. So I might pick it up, just if it just depends on if I see it.
So next up on the list, we have quite a few different rumors, but we don't have pictures for these. These are just information we've been scraping up that we found online, and we definitely wanted to let you guys know what we're hearing because some of this stuff is super cool. So next up, we're hearing a lot of rumors about Spider-Man Pops coming out. We have a feeling it's going to be surrounding that new animated film because it sounds like Miles Morales is going to be one of them. We're also hearing about Wreck-It Ralph 2, and then we're also hearing about the new Nutcracker movie getting Pops as well. All three of these are, you know, not super surprising. I would assume that these would all get them, but I know I'm going to be excited about the Wreck-It Ralph ones. And depending on how that movie is, it looks amazing based off the trailer. I might want to get some of the Spider-Man ones as well because it looks super stylized and super cool.
Spider-Man, I'm always down for that. But that if they're based around that movie, which I have a sneaking suspicion they will be, I'm all in for it. The style is super cool. It'd be nice to have Miles Morales actually be a Pop. That would be dope. The Wreck-It Ralph as well. I really enjoyed the first one. All right, so we have a few more on this list. The next one is actually going to be from Thor Ragnarok. It's Korg and Meek. If this one does come out, I'm all for it. I loved those characters. It's going to be great. And then we also are hearing that there are going to be some Pops released around Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, I love all of the Kingdom Hearts games. Really hope that they do release Pops. Considering they've been slowly but surely churning out some from the older games, I have a sneaking suspicion that this one is also going to be proven true. But I'm really excited to see pictures and to get my hands on the game. And then there are going to be a few things that we're going to talk about that are supposed to be coming out towards the holidays. They're actually going to be more of a holiday theme. The first one on that list is going to be Marvel. Now, I'm not certain as to exactly what we're going to see. There are rumors and speculations that are out kind of floating around, but that they would be specifically holiday-themed Marvel characters, which is interesting. I don't know if I necessarily want to pick up any Pops that are based on a holiday theme, but according to the lists and stuff that we're seeing, there's going to be a lot of different content coming from different fandoms, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out. How about you?
Yeah, I don't think the holiday thing is really for me. I mean, I love Christmas time, etc., but I don't know if I need that in my collection. But the Korg and Meek, I would be down for that, and I am a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I've been pretty much 100% disappointed with the ones they've done so far for Kingdom Hearts, although there are one or two that look kind of cool, and I have the Halloween Town ones, which I've shown on an episode previously. I hope they really do these better. Instead of the weird kind of deformed look they did with some of the early ones. I know that the original Donald and Goofy looked super weird. But as long as it looked cool, I am down for everything Kingdom Hearts 3. Huge fan of that series and chomping at the bit to get a hold of this game. So following along the holiday theme, we've got some SpongeBob Christmas ones. We've also got some Star Wars Christmas ones, which should surprise no one. I mean, Marvel, SpongeBob, Star Wars and Marvel is kind of a no-brainer with this. Like I said before, the holiday stuff isn't really my thing. They're also announcing, separate from the Christmas ones, they're going to do some Married with Children Pops. That was from when I was like, you know, in my 20s, and let me tell you, I definitely want to get those. That's fantastic. I hope they have Al Bundy in his Letterman jacket and the football. That'd be amazing. I would so get that. That would be amazing.
Did you know they threw four touchdowns?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I hope they have a little blurb on the box. His little speech he always gave. How about you? Are you interested in the Christmas ones or the Married with Children?
So, of the three holiday ones that are supposed to be being talked about at this point in time, the Star Wars ones are probably the ones that would jump out at me the most. I'd have to see them first. Gotta see pictures.
Would they be from the holiday special?
If they're from the holiday special, I will steer clear of these. No way.
Chewbacca?
No. Oh, no. Boo. The Married with Children ones, I'd be super interested in those. It was a show that typically would pop on in between different things that I was watching when I was younger, and it was always good for a laugh. I love some of those characters, and I'm interested to see what they look like. All right, so the last three on our rumors list are going to be a couple of heavy hitters on here. The first one is another Rick and Morty Pop. Like I said, I alluded to that earlier in the episode. It's going to be Tiny Rick with his acoustic guitar. I have to have this. I love the Tiny Rick episode, and it leads perfectly into the Pickle Rick episode. Just having that I'm Tiny Rick. The whole meme is great. I love that episode. Want to have the pop. I'm ready to have it for my collection. The next one on that list is going to be from The Flash. I really enjoy the show. I also enjoyed the comics. I'm interested to see which characters they select for this. There are a couple that are floating around. They're saying that they're going to do Kid Flash, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But like I said, I really enjoyed the show. And if they do the pops right, I'll probably pick up a couple of these. And then the last one on the list is going to be for The Simpsons. Now, I don't know how many Simpsons pops are out now. I think there are a few, but they're not a lot for considering being one of the most successul television shows.
They
of all
look
time.
weird too. Yeah,
I think
the Kingdom Hearts thing. They look weird. They don't quite look that way I would think they would look.
It may have been
early on.
Yeah, a translating issue, you know, as far as like from medium to the actual figures before, but maybe they figured it out. Maybe that's part of the reason why they're trying to, you know, break down that barrier again. So we'll see how they turn out. The Simpsons isn't necessarily my favorite, like, adult-style animated comedy. I'm definitely more of the era of, you know, South Park, Family Guy, that sort of thing. If these are super cool, The Simpsons is a timeless show, and it's something that a lot of people can get behind. I still, to this day, even though The Simpsons has kind of tailed off and isn't as good as it used to be, I still see people wearing, you know, Homer Simpson t-shirts and all this other stuff. So great to see that fandom getting a little bit more love. So we'll see how they turn out.
Yeah, I just watched the newest episode yesterday, actually. So these three are kind of a no-brainer for me. I'm a huge DC fan. While Flash isn't my favorite character, and they don't really have a lot of pops of my favorite character, which is Green Arrow, I do want to see more from the DC universe. I would love to see Kid Flash. That'd be an amazing choice. I can see picking up some from that line. The Rick and Morty one is a no-brainer. Tiny Rick is amazing, and the fact that he has his guitar, I would be so down for that if that comes to be. And then The Simpsons, I grew up on The Simpsons. I'm in my late 30s. The Simpsons is about to hit 30th season, so I'm right at that perfect age where it's been around pretty much all of my TV watching life. So The Simpsons means quite a bit to me. Although I am a huge South Park fan, and I am also a huge fan of Family Guy, The Simpsons just holds a special place in my heart. So if they can do the figures right, I'd be totally down to pick up every one of them. Okay, so next up is going to be the section where we talk about our hauls for this week. I actually have quite a bit. As we've both mentioned in the past, we have a coworker that we've been buying his collection over time. I bought a large chunk from him this last week, and I'll show this with you. I'm not going to say every one I got, because as you're going to see on screen in a moment, it's a lot. I will tell you the highlights, though. I got a Chase figure. It's the Heffalump from Winnie the Pooh. Very cool looking. I also picked up the Luke Skywalker where he's missing his hand. It was from one of the Star Wars conventions, which is also super cool. That was a neat one. I was really excited to get. And then I got the big Stay Puft Marshmallow Man that looks all pissed off. Those are the highlights from this. As you saw on the screen, though, there was a bunch of Daredevil pops and Batman pops. There's a lot in there. I was very glad to get all these, and I definitely send appreciation his way because he has been giving me great deals on these, as he has been you. Decided to liquidate his collection, and we have definitely been the benefactors of that. So it has cost a pretty penny, but we definitely appreciate the good deals.
As John Lovitz would say, he's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits.
There you go. I know you picked one up this week.
Yeah, I picked up one this week, and it came from him in his little liquidation pickup. There was a duplicate. So we both ended up with a Han Solo pop. I would have picked this up on my own anyway, but it's from Force Awakens. I really like it a lot. I'm glad to have it in my collection, and it came at the right price.
Plus, it was a hilarious conversation that came with it, too. He said he was very sad about what happened to Han Solo in Force Awakens. And I said, I was sad, but I'm kind of on the team with the other guy. So, you know, Kylo Ren being my favorite character, I can't really get too mad at him.
Hey, you enjoy your Ben Swolo.
Absolutely. Hey, man, if you're going to be a Sith, being emo just comes with the territory.
This is very true, very true.
So, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We have, as you can see, quite a bit more news in each of our episodes now than we did previously. We've kind of reworked the research process, and he's doing a fantastic job of getting all the research done. We also post a minimum of 4 videos a week, so you don't want to miss out on that. We have game content, movie content, pop culture content, etc. We also have t-shirts available in the description if you're interested in picking up a t-shirt with our logo on it. We hope you'll follow us into the Vortex. We'll see you next time.